You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Princesses Long Island After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Princesses Long Island After Show.
Ready, come and get it. Hey, you guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Princesses Long Island. This one is called The Elephant in the Vineyard, but maybe it should be Ashley's a little baby bleep. Just saying. I'm your host, Kristina Zias, along with...
Hi, I'm Jake Dupree.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Loren.
And hi, I'm Cassidy Gard.
Fahnia can't be with us today, so we have Gabby filling in, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A true Long
Appreciate
Island
it.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have some Long Island flavor to give us the real perspective.
East Coast represent.
Yeah.
I love my
Yeah.
East Coasters. Okay, let's get into this episode because we have a lot of drama to talk about at the very end, and let's get with the juice in the beginning. Amanda and her younger sister, who's got a great pair of legs, but is missing
Stems.
something on top. They're strolling around town, and they stumble upon a jewelry store, and obviously Amanda has to go check out those gems. What do you guys think?
First of all, we have to talk about her sister talking. Oh my God, Amanda.
No, you moved your mouth too much.
No, but she extends everything out like, oh my God, Amanda.
I love how she's like, no, that one would be better for me because I have, what do you call it,
Man
man
hands.
hands. And the woman's like, no, you don't. She goes, I do. Something like that.
I
She's
love
funny.
that she's like, I couldn't get an iPhone because my finger touched all the keys. I think she's very honest, which I appreciate, but it's always a good
Like
laugh
I
with
said,
her.
every single damn episode I'm on, I want them to have their own reality show. Her family, Amanda's family
They're
needs its own.
crazy. Her brother was very tame, though. But going back to the engagement ring shopping, what did you guys think of the rings?
I mean, they were beautiful.
looks
I think
good.
she's jumping the gun a little bit, but I love how her sister tried to stir the controversy, and she was like, well, what are you going to do if mom doesn't agree? Because mom doesn't agree, obviously.
I mean, like, why would she bring that up, like, all of us? I don't know. I feel like it was very, like, producer-driven for a second.
Duh.
Like,
It's
ask this
interesting.
question. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
and they
was
go
really
with
no.
it. But it's funny because she's like, I'll just block mom from Facebook again, or like,
Her
block her number.
iPhone.
Like, what's the deal? There's some former situations with Babs and her that have happened previously. Like, are we not privy to these
Well, I just think,
details?
Yes,
I just
I
think
love
they're
that.
so much alike that they're gonna battle. Like, of course, like I feel like Amanda's the young, like what Babs was like when she was young.
Well,
I feel
we-
like that's what she was like.
Which is probably why Babs is so overprotective,
Yeah.
because she got divorced and she doesn't want Amanda making the same mistakes that she already has.
And also, I think she doesn't want her to leave the womb yet, pretty much, because that's like her favorite daughter, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
mean-
It's her little protege. I mean, those two are two peas in a
I like
pod.
that.
So
Yes.
do you guys think it's too soon for a wedding ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
so.
it means she's shopping for her own ring. It's not supposed to be that way. Jeff should be going with his dad and the mom. Gail clearly is very into all of this. It should not be. I mean, going and trying on rings for fun is totally okay. But there's some
Yeah.
aspect that Jeff needs to get himself together.
Yeah, but maybe when Amanda met, when they went to lunch at the deli last week, and now I feel like I'm getting an accent. When they went to lunch at the deli last week, you know how she checked out Jeff's mom's new ring? Maybe she was like, like, I want to make sure if he does this, it is right, and I'm going to be happy with it. I feel like she was a take charge woman, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And wants to
absolutely.
be happy with whatever she gets. So I can't blame her.
How are these kids affording such huge rings when they all live at home with their parents? Either they're
That's
saving
why.
their money, I guess,
'Cause
but
they're all
at the
living at
same,
home.
I guess, and then it just pays off
We
in a
should
nice
probably
big
all
cushion
take
cut
notes.
ring.
Damn. Like,
Yeah, these two.
But Jeff does well, no? Because he drives a really nice car, right?
I mean, they all have.
But I mean, leases are still expensive sometimes.
But it's still not a $100,000 cash up front,
if-
and he's
if
living
he
at home
doesn't
with
have
his
to pay-
parents.
Yeah, if he doesn't have to pay
so
rent.
yeah, I mean, I love you, Jeff. I'm sorry. You've grown on me a lot, but at the same time, there are parts of the situation that I'm a little skeptical of.
Yeah, especially for marriage. Like, that's a very serious, huge step. So
Yeah.
you want them to be prepared. You're concerned.
I do. I'm Babs 2.0 apparently. I'm like, we got to get them together, but in due time, you two.
What do you guys think about? We can skip over the next part of the episode and just talk about their little dinner party that they had at Babs' house together, because Babs obviously was a little nervous about it. She was ripping those shots. And I love how she wanted to get his parents a little drunk. She was like, let's just ease it all. No big deal. Babs style, obviously.
Do you think, though, that she's a little uncomfortable that, like, she doesn't have, you know, like, Amanda's dad there or someone there? Like, if you're, like, a single mom and you're meeting someone, like, another couple, there's, like, that aspect that, like, you have to represent your family, and she doesn't have that camaraderie with, you know, like, a dad figure.
But I also think that once you get to a certain age and you're living by yourself, raising your family still, and you have people like Jeff's family that are still together, it's hard when you're older and you're growing old alone, because eventually the kids are going to leave the house and she's not going to have anybody.
Oh, I just felt really sad for Babs.
Well, yeah, because they're all kind of, like, giving her a hard time because, you know, they're like, you have to let Amanda go, but at the same time, like, she doesn't have, you know, Jeff Sr. at home. Like, she doesn't have that, so.
See, I kind of didn't like this little scene with his parents, because I feel like out of respect for Amanda's mom, I think they shouldn't have been pushing it so much that they're going to move in together and that they're so happy and excited about it. And clearly they're dying to get their son
They're
out
just
of the
ready
house.
for him to be gone. Yeah.
Right, and I get it. And they're probably like, our son's older and he just found this hot babe. Like, he needs to move on it quick, you know? But really, out of respect, I feel like they should be like, well, Amanda, you should kind of listen to your mother, too.
Well, slow it down. She just met Jeff's parents, like, tonight. I mean, just, like, ease it in. Like, have this just be about, you know, drinking, eating, whatever, and
Like,
then
how
slip
was
it in
your
next
life?
week.
Yeah.
Don't you guys also think it's awkward, though, if they do get engaged pretty soon after this episode and the parents just met each other? I mean, I would want my, like, future fiance's parents to know my parents before we get married.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that really was the first meeting?
Probably not.
Because they have been dating for 6 months, and they don't live that far from me.
Whole 6 months.
No, I would say it probably was.
I mean, like 6 months. I feel like they're together all the time. No.
No, it is a little surprising that this is the first meeting because it seems like they're all living within a mile radius. At some point when he's dropping one of them off, they would have met at the door.
Yeah, but 6 months is still pretty early. And I don't think their parents drop them off anymore. They drive their own cars, no?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, 6 months is early to meet the parents. I mean, to have the parents meet, sorry. I think it is a little early.
Well, they have agendas that they have to get on.
But they're on, like, a time crunch.
Yeah.
They want to get it done.
I don't know. I think Amanda's too young. And maybe just because I'm 25 and I'm like,
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
I feel like she's got a lot going for her. She should
Even
worry
if
about
you
drink
know you want to get married, it doesn't mean you need to jump at it. You should live with the person, maybe, and then see how it goes. Because what if she gets married and she freaking hates living with him? Do you know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
so
though,
many things could go wrong.
on the other hand, being surrounded by these chaotic, psychotic women, I cannot blame her for wanting to distance herself from girl time, singles ladies, and just like latching onto a guy because these women are batshit. Excuse me, sorry, in this episode. So yeah,
I mean,
don't
she
blame her.
says she'd rather hang out with him any day over her girls. And you can't blame her.
No, I agree with her. I would.
Speaking of her girls, let's talk about how Ashley invites Erica over and completely corners her and makes her feel so uncomfortable. And obviously, Erica's not very good at handling herself in these situations. She gets a little nervous, and who wouldn't be? Because I feel like Ashley's intimidating. Because I feel like she's kind of a mean girl and scary when she comes at you and confronts you like that. You're like, she's asking, did you send a text message? What did you say to Joey? And what is Erica supposed to say?
I just don't think Erica's very good in those situations with being confronted with things like that. Like she just falls apart kind of, and she kind of just gives what information she thinks they want to hear.
Right.
I think that's what she is.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's exactly what happened.
And I don't blame her. Like, it's tough to be confronted by a friend being like, "What did you say?" And you're like, it just is really uncomfortable. So I feel for Erica in that situation.
And I don't see Erica as a malicious person.
No.
I don't think she was trying to hurt Joey, and I don't think she was trying to hurt Ashley. I think she just gets stuck in these situations.
She's just
somehow.
honest. I think she was just honest.
The only thing I didn't like is that I felt I kind of thought she was being like, oh, I'm not on Joey's side, kind of. That's what I felt like whenever she was
To
with Ashley.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I did feel that way too.
She plays the different cards of whoever she's with, which is pretty fake. But at the same time, I think that people need to stop taking what she says so seriously, because half the time she is on some other level of party time. So I don't know why they're trying to get her
She's
on
on
like a
Erica time.
sharp, distinct thing, because I don't think she remembers.
And the sad thing is, I want her to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't want her to change just because of this event that happened in the episode, and now she's just gonna lie to her friends when they ask her questions.
I don't like that. Because I always look to her to be the one that's kind of like ridiculously honest, even when you don't want to hear it. And it's like kind of uncomfortable. And the fact that she would lie about that, you know, like, oh, I didn't show her a text. Like, I don't know.
She should have been like, yeah, she asked me and you did, so
That's
I
what
showed
I
it to
thought.
her.
That's
Just
what I thought
go
that
with
she'd be
it.
like.
Yeah, it was a
So.
little odd, but
Yeah, I guess I think that, I think she's just not very good with confrontation.
Yes.
Although she was fine with Casey when she handled that confrontation.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it's just something about Ashley.
maybe it's because she was very drunk that night, so she had a lot of courage. And this scene, she seemed sober, so it was harder for her.
Well, Casey's
Seems
not her
keyword.
friend, so I think it's easier to have confrontation with somebody you don't care to maintain a relationship with.
Very true.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Ashley's really her friend? Because I feel like Ashley turns on people really quickly. And I feel like I think that honestly, if Erica told her at that moment in her house, she was like, yeah, I showed her a text, maybe Ashley would have been like, get out of my house. Because I don't see Ashley as being like very understanding. Well, I see, because Joey's a really bad person and she made you show her that text.
She's like that person that always, if you're not on her side, then you're on no side. Like, you're dead to her.
Yeah, totally.
And I
Yeah.
hate that.
But I
don't like
love that she was very honest with herself and called herself a chihuahua, because she is the kind of like yappy little one that's just like always causing a scene and needs to be the center of attention. And the other ones are the big bad bulldogs, apparently.
Well, bulldogs are really cute. That's what my opinion.
I know, maybe.
Is that a shady comment? Maybe.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Well, we have this whole little, I guess, event that Erica planned at the winery that turned into, obviously, a shit show.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I mean, my vocabulary should be more extensive than I should be able to describe that in other ways, but that's exactly what it was. So we're saying it. And obviously, Casey was nowhere to be found. So I guess she was smart in that decision. I'm not going.
I honestly thought she'd be there.
After that little get together.
Can I just say this though? The fact that Chanel and Casey planned this big intervention about, you know, the drinking issues, and then here's the most innocent day possible. It's planned like a family day with her dad. She just wants to do something like extremely low key, like boat, and then they all create drama. They should have been more supportive in that moment and realize she's like trying to do something nice with her family, and it's not like, you know, her clubbing days where she's like going in the bathroom with random boys.
Well, they're still drinking, so maybe Casey wasn't in support of that.
Maybe.
Casey is just nowhere to be found.
She's just not in support of anything that's going to be possibly fun.
Or out of Manhattan, apparently. Who was the random girl that she like confided in? Like, why didn't they just do that scene with Chanel or something? Or have Chanel venture into the city? Like, this just this random girl came on, Layla.
I feel like they probably shot so many hours of Casey and we're like, we had nothing. Like nothing.
Producers are like scrambling to get it together.
Yeah, so they're just trying to like throw anything in there. There was maybe a conversation leading up to the winery event that they could just throw into the episode.
It was just all about how she didn't like the girls. There was like nothing new to contribute. It was about how she just loves her life with artsy men.
And it's always the same conversation with her. It's always about how Long Island is so weird, and there's this thing where you have to be married by a certain age and have kids by a certain age.
Always.
It's the same conversation every single time they show her.
I want to address that rumor.
Go ahead.
Being that I'm from there, I know one friend that's my age that's getting married this year. That's my age.
How old are you?
I'm 25. You
Yeah.
know, and then the only other friend I have that's getting married this year is like 2 years older than me. So what? Like that's not that's not a normal thing. I'm sorry.
Also, though, you're in Los Angeles, you're not living with your parents, you're venturing out. Like, I mean, there are people, I'm sure, that leave the island. They make it seem like all the girls just, like, stay
Never
and
leave.
wait. I know, but...
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this is just...
definitely.
Yeah, so you can probably attest to that.
I will attest to that.
What do you guys think about, this whole winery fiasco? Let's just get into it, because obviously it was bad blood from the beginning. And you know what pissed me off is that when Joey got there, I wish she just didn't like give everyone a hug. I wish she was just like, hey everyone, and then like sat down, because obviously it makes it uncomfortable for Ashley. And Ashley was obviously giving her a look the entire time.
And she was on her phone the whole time.
But it like fed her fuel. And I feel like that's what she needs. Like she needs some ammo. And Joey gives her that. And that's what.
But do you think that Joey's doing that on purpose? Like she wants to give her ammo so that she actually has something against Joey?
I don't think so.
At the same time, though, everybody stood up to greet Joey and hug her. Someone just stayed sitting in her little corner next to the wall. So what are you supposed to do? Like hover over her and like lean down and like give her a very awkward hug? Like she didn't. I don't think Ashley made it very easy.
Right, but then Ashley was like, "Do you believe that Joey didn't even give me a hug, hello, and said hi to everyone else?"
That's why I think Ashley is an instigator.
Obviously, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And you know what? No, I do agree with you. I think she's an instigator. And Joey, if she wanted to, could have just verbally told her. She doesn't need to hug her. Just to be civil and say, hi, Ashley. You know, she doesn't have to be like all friendly.
Hi, Ashley, how you doing?
But you know what?
How are you?
Ashley's just as guilty because Ashley could have said something to Joey. Why does Joey have to initiate it?
Why are 30-year-old women having to talk about she did not say hello to me? It's like these ladies drive me crazy.
I can't believe Ashley from the very beginning with how she tries to cause a scene, or maybe she doesn't. Maybe she is actually scared of heights, okay? We're going to just go with it.
Yeah.
And she needs attention, and she needs help getting down the stairs. And right away, like, why does everyone cater to her? I just don't understand it.
Why did she walk up the stairs in the first place? That's what I don't
She
understand.
can't come back
I
down.
mean, why it's like a cat that climbs up and the fire truck has to come get it. Why would she go up in the first place? I don't get it.
I'm going to correct you. Why did Chanel cater to her? Because Chanel's the only one that feeds into the BS.
Well, we've talked a lot about Chanel's motherly instinct. She always has like parental control over these girls.
I feel like Erica in that one little scenario as well was trying to help her out. I feel like everyone feels like they have to baby Ashley for some reason. And then, as you said before, Chanel especially.
If she's afraid of heights, why are her heels so high? I mean, she should just be in flats and closer to the ground if it's so scary for her.
That should be her housewife tagline.
Well, what if it?
If you were so afraid of heights, then why wear heels or something like that? Whatever you said.
I like
liked
it. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe Chanel helps out Ashley, but then Joey obviously helped out Erica P. For some reason, because Erica claimed at a table, at a winery, at a vineyard,
That she had.
that she has a UTI and has to go pee in the vineyard. I'm sorry, but that is not classy no matter what way you look
Like,
at
people
it.
are eating those grapes. Come on.
Like, don't pee in that.
Didn't she make a joke that she was going to make it into champagne or something? I mean, she's nasty sometimes, real nasty. That's really gross.
But it makes me laugh, though. Like, I'm kind of glad it's on the show. Because I don't know.
Because you can't imagine.
She's so different
You
than all of
cannot
them.
imagine someone like Casey doing that. Like, can you imagine
Oh.
Casey? She's just so, like,
And then
stuck.
the fact whenever the guy knocked the top of the bottle off, and then Joey was like, "Oh, let's circumcise it" or something, and then all of them were like, all buttoned up about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, Ashley
You're
especially.
Jewish, like you get it.
I
like,
thought
you're
it was
supposed to get
funny
that.
when
Yeah,
Ashley
exactly.
freaked out about the comment about Joey saying she was in the Lucky Sperm Club, which is a common joke that. Have you heard of this phrase?
No, and I didn't even
I
remember
think I
hearing
have.
that.
Explain what it is.
Basically, it's just a joke about people that are kind of like useless, born into wealth, and they have like trust funds. They never earned anything. They were just in the Lucky Sperm Club. And Joey made this comment. Ashley just thought that, like, I guess she made up this idea, and she's like, "Why would you say something like that?" But just everything's taken so seriously. They need to just let it go.
And you know what? Joey said, I don't want to talk about this right now, but Ashley kept going into it.
like a chihuahua.
They could have stopped it right then and there, and I hate how she plays victim all the time.
Okay, but let's talk about it because it is Erica's fault that this whole conversation started. Does no one else see that?
It was
Yeah,
from her
it was.
drunk.
I
She
think
was
the
a little
producer
drunk.
made her. Someone made her do that because they're like, these girls have nothing to talk about. They're sitting doing nothing. We gotta get it going.
Or maybe she thought in her head, drunk, that she was going to make everyone become friends again before
Yeah.
the boat ride.
Maybe, yeah, 'cause
Right, I
remember
don't-
She was like,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
we'll,
she
we'll
did
make
say
it like
that.
a peaceful situation where they can all
Reality
get along.
shows their endless theme is I just want everyone to be friends.
Yeah.
Every single
Never
show.
happened.
Right?
Right. Well, I mean, she did bring up the elephant in the room, though, and then obviously Ashley's the one who took it even further and was like, "What is it? What is it? What is it?" So she is just bad news bears.
Yeah,
I'm really sad about this because we really liked her in the beginning.
I thought that Ashley was gonna be the standout that was like everyone just like loved her, but
Amanda is everyone loves Amanda.
I think Amanda
that she stole
and
the
she started
show.
off. Everyone was like, "What is with her and her boyfriend?"
Sure about
but
her.
I think everyone really likes her a lot. I would hope so.
I mean, she's the one doing so well. She has a successful business, I think. You know, a good boyfriend who treats her well on the road to marriage, and she has normal relationships with her friends.
Yeah, and she's fun and like
She's just a
vibrant.
cool chick.
Yeah, she's down for whatever. So,
What do you guys think about Ashley running off and calling her mom? Oh my God! Say it. The size. Say it.
When we were watching it, we were all just, I can't speak for you guys, but we were cringing. Just so pathetic. Pathetic.
I love how Amanda's like, she's 30 years old. No wonder she's single. It's really true, though. I mean, that is unbelievably sad and pathetic. And then her dad treats her like a child. He's like, go find someone to call a car service there. And then she wants her parents to get her on a plane, a mini private jet to take her home.
Yeah, where's that gonna land in the Vineyard?
I just don't like how she plays victim all the time. Like she's always victim. Like it's always everyone's against me. Everyone's screaming at me. Everyone's yelling at me.
They're
like
so
you
mean
brought
to
this on
me.
yourself. I think she genuinely brought it on herself.
and the fact that her parents encourage the behavior, like you're saying, is really ridiculous. And it makes me sick to my stomach that she's 30, living at home, and her parents are literally willing to like not even tell her that you have to change your attitude or you're gonna get nowhere in life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how she even has relationships with anybody. I don't know why Chanel considers her a legit friend either.
I mean, I think her parents kind of cater to it. They don't really need her to go anywhere in life because then she'd leave home. I think they love like cooking for her and cleaning and laundry and like really
but don't
coddling
they feel
her.
sad to like see their daughter grow up to be like so dependent?
But I think they're just trying to protect her because all those other girls are so jealous of her.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Jake. You called it out. You're like, that is
That's
what
every parent's excuse. Like if someone makes fun of you, they're jealous of you. Like what do they have to be jealous about? They're
They're
just being
making
mean.
fun. Yeah.
But it's really interesting seeing their dynamic because I think I was looking on Twitter and stuff at all of their Twitter accounts before this, and I don't think that Chanel is very good friends with Ashley anymore.
Really? Why? What'd
What
you
makes
see?
you
They're
say
doing
that?
an event. Erica, Chanel, Amanda, and Joey are doing an event this week for a princess viewing party, kind of like at a club. They were the only four invited, and they're all like tweeting about each other and like doing
Joey,
things together. Joey, Amanda, Erica, and Chanel.
And how do you know that Ashley wasn't invited? Maybe she just couldn't make it.
I don't know. I've just seen little things that like little
Warning signs.
digs and stuff at each other.
Well, Ashley and Casey are probably just, off in the corner together.
And they seem to be best friends right now. So.
But did you see those pictures from Ashley's birthday? Mm-hmm. It was, and Chanel was there with her parents too.
Yeah.
And that was what, last week?
Yeah.
However, I wonder if they watch these episodes and think to themselves, I don't want to be friends with her anymore. You know what I mean?
See, that's what
With
I'm
us.
thinking. That's what's happening.
I hope Chanel thinks that because she kind of looked like a fool in this episode, and obviously
Defending
she was
Ashley.
trying to be a good friend. But for what reason? Because she's not doing Ashley any service by standing up for her. You know what I mean? If anything, she should go back there and be like, you need to go figure this out with the other girls, you know?
It's very different watching yourself from a different perspective because people don't really realize how you act and how you interact with other people in certain situations. But when you watch it on TV, it's kind of like eye-opening. So maybe that's happening for her because Chanel's always looking for the positive. So she probably realizes this girl is not positive.
There's no positive. She's not going to find it.
Literally.
Do you guys think that Ashley and Chanel were rude to leave since Erica planned this trip for them, or do you think it was necessary?
I think it's probably for the best that they weren't there because they were going to obviously not make it very fun.
I mean, to be trapped on a boat with those ladies going through that, at a certain point, it's like if you don't want to be there, leave with your negativity.
Yeah. What did you think about the girls saying, though, do you think they were kind of like implying that Ashley had made this kind of seem like she was not going to end up going on the boat
Yeah,
the
Amanda
entire
said
time?
that. Amanda said she never was
I was
even
like, did we
planning on going
not
on
see
that
something
boat.
or something? I didn't think that maybe we didn't, maybe there was
Well, she
something
says
that we
something about a
didn't
bathing
see.
suit, like not bringing her bathing suit.
Like
Yeah.
that girl would never be
Right.
caught in a bikini.
Well, it kind
anyways,
of goes
yeah.
back to episode 1 where Ashley
Didn't get in that pool.
wouldn't get in the bathing suit.
But I feel like there was something that we
That we
didn't see.
missed. like a little something, like a dig or something that she implied that she wouldn't be going on this trip. Yeah.
You know what would be funny though if they all went on the boat and then got in the fight and they couldn't go anywhere.
That would be so much better.
Dad, can you airlift me out of the boat, please?
That would make more sense, actually.
But that'd be cool because Erica's dad would be there too, so that could be kind of like
He'd be like
a
the
good
mediator.
mediator for them.
She'd be like, Mr. Gimbal, they're being so mean to me.
He's probably just gonna be like, drink.
Yeah, definitely.
Erica's
glug.
dad is very just he is just not into like, because I don't think he caters to Erica the way that Hal does, Papa
No.
Hal. I would love to see him just put her in her place and be like, you're being a baby child.
And you're 30.
Yeah.
That's the end. That's like the only sentence that matters in this whole thing.
You're
you are
30.
That's it. Period.
Done. So sad.
Very sad.
Really?
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Well, we can get into that in predictions later on, but seriously, what happens to Ashley? She goes missing. And
For attention.
For attention.
Do you
Yeah.
think she like hitchhiked and she got like beat up or something?
No
she
way.
got a
She
car
would never hit
service.
I think she probably fell down a hill or something and twisted her
Definitely.
ankle and then was taken to the ER and she had a swollen ankle and then got it bandaged. That was my prediction
Or
early
maybe
on
like
in
a
the show.
car hit her or something. I don't know. Like she walked into the road like Chanel said stop. Remember that?
Or like some children of
didn't
the
look
corn
both
came out of the
ways.
vines or something.
I don't know.
Well, it's
they
really
like squeezed her to fill up a bottle of wine.
I mean, it's
from all
kind
her complaints.
I mean, it's kind of sad. This has to be the build up to the final episode. It's just that to be continued. Where did Ashley go? We can't find her. She's not answering her cell phone. I mean, this show clearly is lacking
Like
some
what do we got?
substance.
Yeah.
plots. Exactly, for this to have to be the big to be continued.
But we were saying that we kind of hope it comes back. You were saying that at least.
Yeah, I want to see it come back and maybe even with like half a new cast.
I don't know.
I mean, they need more
I
than,
think that
like-
they should just stall that because all of them are boring except for Amanda and Jeff, and then just do a spin-off show.
I feel
mean,
like
I
Erica
do.
can give you some good stuff.
I like Erica.
I feel like Erica and Amanda.
Well, no, but Erica would appear on the spin-off show. I mean, Erica doesn't have enough going on, I think, to deserve her own show. I mean, she's doing nothing. But the ones that we do enjoy and like can just appear on Amanda's show as bridesmaids.
I saw all of them were trying to get Princesses Season 2 like trending on Twitter, and like no one was
Didn't
responding.
happen.
Yikes.
Well, maybe.
They just have to change it up. If they were gonna bring it back, they'd have to change it up with really fun people.
Well,
Sorry.
I'm really sad because the girls were supposed to call in, and then their publicist has been saying that they aren't allowed to do press anymore. And I think it's because they're receiving such bad press from everyone else. So that's
then they
not
should
a
clear
good
their
sign.
names with us.
I think
What?
I think they're probably like, this isn't coming back. It's not worth their time. And like,
sucks.
speaking of bad press, let's get into it because we have news and gossip. Cassidy, tell us what you found.
AfterBuzz TV News.
This is good. I mean, it's not good. It's sad, but it's good.
So it started with the episode, the very first one, the party, and it turns out that one of the men that was in the background shirtless was a school teacher that got fired from his job for appearing shirtless on a reality show on Bravo. And they're trying to get him back on the show. Back into the school system. Like, students are like, come on, he's a great teacher, whatever. But the latest one is there's a school teacher, Sarah Shapiro, who had a gay slur on the show, and now they've fired her, which I honestly agree with, because if you're going to be teaching high school kids and you're going to have a mouth like that and you're not being supportive, how dare you go into our school systems for people that are figuring out who they are and use gay slurs. So I'm not going to disagree with that. The shirtless thing I think is a little much,
That's
but
silly.
what
Yeah.
do you
That
guys
is silly.
think?
That girl's a teacher.
Yes. Do you believe that?
$66,000 a year. The salary was in the article, and now she, is losing that.
Well,
But did-
she deserves it. That was stupid.
I don't
I
think
agree.
they said she was fired yet, right? She might be forced to resign, but she's like talking all this smack. Like, I don't even know if I want to come back as a teacher. I might want to do something else with my life. So obviously, she knows she's getting the boot sometime
In high
soon.
school, the worst teachers were the ones that so clearly were like waiting out till their retirement, just like kind of paying their time. Like those ones, I was always like, just go away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, this girl was a train wreck.
And that's disgusting that she's a teacher and she's starting all this like stupid drama with like, and she's probably how old, like 32, I'm sure, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
she was
just ridiculous.
Well, even with Amanda in the first episode, she was like, your boyfriend messaged me. Like, that's awful, because imagine that these little kids in school or teenagers are coming to her with these exact same problems that she is creating with other women. double their age, probably.
Do you
That's
think
awful.
this could maybe be a publicity stunt, being that she was on the show? Maybe now this is her ticket out of the school system and into entertainment in her head.
In her head, I think that could be it.
Because if she's being bitter about it, like, oh, I don't care. I mean, a person that really wants their job, they would fight for it back.
And be apologetic, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, I mean, she did apologize about the gay slur that she did say.
Because
did?
you have to apologize. I mean, like, I don't think it came from her heart at all.
I do feel bad for the other teacher that was just shirtless in the background. That's not right.
I mean, it was a pool party.
Right.
What was he supposed to do? Be like Ashley and wear like she was wearing like a huge caftan, like a very long sleeve when nothing was showing.
That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, so this was the big thing. It was on the Daily Mail, and there's a whole article about it. Look it up. It's very
This show
scandalous
has just
and
gotten
gossipy.
so much bad press, like really bad press.
From women in general,
Consistently.
New York
Consistently.
women, Jewish women.
The 9/11 statue thing, that was...
Do you find that when you meet people and say you're from Long Island, that now more than ever you're hearing people be like, "Oh my God, have you seen that show, Bravo Princess Long Island?"
I think it was more with Jersey Shore. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, have you seen Jersey Shore?" But not
So
so
no
much
one
with
watches
this one.
Princess of Long Island.
No,
That's
you
the
know
problem.
what though? Like with this show, a lot of people from Long Island are watching because they want to be able to tear it apart and say this is not what it's like. So I've heard a lot of like, even on my Facebook, I always see on the feed all my other friends that are living there still, comment on the show and just they hate it, all of them.
Where you are from in Long Island, how far is it from where these girls are from? They're from Great Neck for the most part, right?
Yeah, Great Neck and Roslyn. I am from Dix Hills, which is Suffolk County, like just past Nassau, and it's North Shore. So I'm probably like, I don't know, I want to say like 20 minutes from Roslyn. Roslyn's very close to New York City.
So what's the deal with
closer.
South Shore? Because there's been a lot of controversy on the show about it.
Well, South Shore is, like they say, it's like the poor areas. It's not poor necessarily, it's just the wealthy people live on the North Shore, and in the certain towns like Roslyn and Great Neck, that's like the hub of like wealthiness is there. So yeah.
Do you know anyone who knows these girls personally?
I know somebody who went to the same college as Ashley. She's also, like, they're not like friends, but she knows people that are friends with her, and I think she was in a sorority. But she's just heard through the grapevine through other friends that are acquaintances of Ashley's, just stories and stuff, which I can get into if you want me to get
into it,
that
girl.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Time for some Dish Network dirt.
Dish Network dirt!
I like that.
Thank you, Steven.
So yeah, I'm dishing the dirt right now on princesses. So I'm gonna start with Joey's dad's house. It's pretty big, and Ashley is a hater of Joey because she thinks she lives in a poor neighborhood, South Shore, Long Beach, kind of the topic we're on right now. But the house is huge. We just saw it, I think, in the last episode. Not this one, the one before that, sorry, last week. And when you live in Long Island, the property is very expensive. Like, young kids cannot buy houses these days unless you're well off, anywhere. You know what I mean? The second house I moved into in Long Island was a ranch, 1-story, and that sold for over $600,000. And it's nowhere near compared to the size of, like, these other girls' houses. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, property value differs over Long Island, but it's still not inexpensive. Like, she's still living pretty well.
Yeah.
She's not in a box.
And he has a boat, too, as
He
well.
has a boat. Like, I'm telling you, I don't think they're really upplaying the poorness. She's not poor at all.
Well, we've been saying that our entire season here. Like,
She's not poor.
we're not buying it.
And I just think her dad doesn't spoil her like Ashley's dad does.
Yeah.
So that's really the only difference. She lives in Long Beach. A lot of people I know are from the South Shore. They're not necessarily poor.
Thanks for clearing that up.
I mean,
Also, there's
I'm
people
sure.
that live on the water on Long Beach, and like that's expensive. If you rent on the water by Long Beach, you have to pay high rent. So, anyways, Ashley went to Hofstra University, which is in the ghetto of Long Island. Okay, she was freaked out by driving through Freeport. But yet, Hofstra, I know when I was younger, it was known to be like rapings going on in the dorms and around the area, robbings. Recently,
maybe that's why she's still a virgin.
Oh my
but sorry, go on.
Recently, my friend's sorority, she's out of school already. She's like a year or two older than me. Her sorority from Hofstra, 2 twins got shot and killed. Or one of them, sorry. One of the twins got shot and killed by a burglar in their sorority home, and this was like a few. I want to say like maybe like a
Rest
month
in
or so
peace.
ago.
That's horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Like, how horrible is this? That's how dangerous this neighborhood is, okay? But, I mean, rich kids go to the school, but it's a very bad neighborhood. And Ashley went to this college, okay? So she talks about ghetto-ness, yet she went to one of the worst neighborhoods, you know, for her college education. All right? And she also quoted, "I can't believe people live like that," on the Freeport issue. And a lot of people go out in Freeport. There's tons of bars on the water. Like, it's a very popular area for North Shore and South Shore kids to go out. Shabbat dinner, Chanel said to cover your hair before lighting Shabbat candles to Ashley, but you only cover your hair when you're married. That's the actual. Yeah, so my friend who's like very conservative Orthodox, like Jewish, she was so upset by this because she's like, they're not showing Judaism correctly because you don't even do that. Chanel doesn't know what she's talking about. You don't cover your hair unless you're married. So.
Wow.
And I think at the wedding they had a bunch of older women with their hair covered. It's probably why, because they're married. Living at home till you're married is both a Jewish thing and Long Island thing. That was a quote from the show. But it's not. Everyone I know from Long Island has either moved into the city or Queens. They don't still live with their parents. And this is what my friend directly quoted. It's more like daddy buying you an apartment in Murray Hill is both a Jewish thing and a Long Island thing. Daddy buys you the apartment in the city.
Murray Hill,
Yeah. Like, you're not staying at home in Long Island.
But do you honestly think that Long Island Jewish women are getting that offended over this? Because I think that everyone else watching it is like, this is a joke. Obviously, not all New York Jewish women are like this. And I feel like anyone who's offended by it, I think it's kind of ridiculous.
They're just looking for someone to be offended by.
Well, I think that they're offended because they don't want it to be portrayed in a negative light, because this isn't what the religion's about. It's not about Gucci and being rude and negative and I don't know, and even some of the culture things and the customs they're showing wrong. So it's kind of like a fake facade of what Judaism really is, and it's disrespectful.
I have an issue with that. Like, if they're going to portray these girls as being super religious and super set in their ways within religion, then show correct religion.
And that's
Don't
why they're
claim
upset.
that, like that, because people are going to call them out on that. I mean, that's just really weird that they would even feature that if they're not actually that religious. And
I mean, I'm sure the producers don't all know what the customs are, so they're just editing to the story, right?
Yeah.
But I disagree. I don't think that people are just finding any reason to hate the show. I think it's for that reason. They're feeling disrespected and that their religion's not being portrayed correctly.
Yeah, like, these girls can act stupid, but at least portray, if they're super religious, then at least show the right
Exactly.
like the right values and all that, traditions and things.
I mean, I guess that's the same issues that were going on with the Jersey Shore and Italians, because a lot of Italians were furious about how they were being represented. So,
except the only thing that they showed from the culture was how they make dinner.
Yes,
and
like
that's
sauce. We make sauce.
Everything else was about hooking up, partying, and drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not featuring religion.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't like
things that you can actually like look up and say this is real and this is not.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I disagree with that, because I feel like, I mean, being from New Jersey and having so many Italian friends and growing up in a really popular Roman Catholic community, people are pissed.
Well, because they're also showing New Jersey in a negative light, as like only people in New Jersey act like Guidos and hook up with every person that walks. You know what I mean? It was a negative light on just people in general, and it sucks that it was in New Jersey.
I don't know why shows like Honey Boo Boo are people getting upset because people from the South are like, we're not all like this. Like, you're from the South, I'm from the South. We don't. I mean, I don't know why people think that it's like this huge outrage, because I don't meet people that are like. I mean, I guess you do. People from Jersey got upset about Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
I remember like people whenever The Simple Life was on, when they were their first season, they were in Arkansas, and then they were showing these people that lived, and they had like an outhouse and stuff
they
like
didn't
that.
know
That's
what
not
Walmart
real
was.
life. Like, that's not what every Arkansan is like. Like, some of us actually have houses and are educated and do that kind of thing.
To be honest, I'm from the South, and Honey Boo Boo doesn't really offend me because there are much worse people that could represent the South out there.
That is true. That is true.
Like, I would rather it be that side of the South than the other, like, ignorant people that I've met out there.
Well, yeah, and absolutely. These are reality shows. It's the most extreme. I mean, this is not a show about showing every
Bland,
correct
normal
tradition, but
life.
I feel like different families probably do things different. They make it more modern. Maybe like in Chanel's family, they do wear it even if they're not married. You know, like maybe she was a little kid and they want to make them feel included. Like, I think that they don't claim to be right about every aspect of it. I think a lot of the families said we do it this way, or we're
Like
less
modern
traditional.
Orthodox, yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's been something on the show. But I can see why if that was my religion and it was portrayed wrongly, that I would be upset.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, it's a reality show on Bravo. I mean, we're not really fact checking here, so I think people should probably not take it, you know, to heart all the way, because these women are just so ridiculous anyway.
I have one more thing, sorry, before we get into the other stuff. Also, Ashley never wanting to wear flats. You know, she complained after the salon had someone carry her out to the car. My friend that knows one of her friends has said that she has worn flats before and has no problem with them. So is it scripted or is it not scripted? Someone please tell me.
Well, with that said, my prediction for next week is that Ashley should be wearing flats because she busts her ass in her heels. Anyone else?
Learned your lesson. I predict that, and I hope, this is a prayer to Jesus, that Amanda gets her own show. That's
Wow, that's strong right there.
That's a prediction. That's a prediction right there.
And then if she does, she better give us some drink hankies for her season.
I know, right here. My hands are so cold on this mug.
My prediction is that Ashley has a nervous breakdown, winds up in the hospital for attention, and loses all her friends.
Oh, yes.
Woo, my prediction, I will join you on this. This whole entire season has been about the girls trying to find a husband, and it's a little bit of a sneak peek that it looks as if an engagement does occur. So the only two people that should get a spinoff or season 2 are the ones that actually got engaged on a whole show devoted to people getting married that are trying to get out of the house.
I like that.
Right.
All signs point to Amanda and Jeff.
They win the contest. We want to come to the wedding, all right?
You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out next week's episode, the finale. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ms. Zias.
You can find me on Twitter at Jake_Dupree and on Instagram at Jake Dupree.
You can find me at Gabrielle_Loren on Twitter and on Instagram, GabbyLO87.
I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Cassidy Gard. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.